that the glass is out of the vehicle, it is time to prepare the pinch weld for bonding. The first thing is to make sure that any lubricant used to ease in cutting out the glass is removed. Liquids must be wiped out and dried. And dust and dirt must also be removed to eliminate the possibility of contaminants falling into the bonding area after the urethane is stripped. Once the dashboard is clean and dried, the tape covering the defroster vents can be removed. The true test of a good technician is the ability of stripping the urethane from the pinch weld with the fewest number of scratches to the paint. To accomplish this feat, always make sure that a new utility knife blade is used. Or, if a scraper is used, make sure that the blade of the scraper is sharp and used upside down to reduce damage to the pinch weld. The goal is to leave a slight amount of existing urethane to promote the best bond. The technique used by many technicians is to shave the urethane from the pinch weld floor while pulling out the urethane. Pulling on the existing urethane bead while stripping out serves two purposes. One, it makes the strip out easier and with more control, and two, it will indicate if a paint delamination defect is present. There may be times when the pulling method of strip out will have to be suspended because of other circumstances, such as a headliner or molding protrusions into the cutting area, or a sloppy previous installation. However, the sooner you can return to the pulling method, the better and faster the strip out will be. After you are done with all the cutting and stripping tools, the protective tape can be removed carefully. It is wise to remove tape as soon as it's served its purpose to eliminate the possibility of peeling the paint. No one is perfect, and there will be times that metal priming is called for. Because we have gone from cutting to chemical handling, the technician should now put on nitrile gloves. The metal primers are always black in color and must be shaken vigorously for proper mix. Check with your adhesive manufacturer for recommended mixing procedures. While shaking the primer can, check for any contaminants or other concerns with the pinch weld. Locate all the scratches and prepare to cover them. If you find some of the dust or dirt has fallen into the bonding surface of the pinch weld, use a lint-free paper towel dampened with water and wipe the contaminant from the surface. Do not wet the pinch weld because this can cause water droplets to be trapped in the porous urethane surface and hinder the bond. Priming the pinch weld is a very important step in proper bonding. The key is to prime any scratches that occurred, but not to overprime. Overpriming is as bad as not priming at all. The instructions for this urethane are to cover any exposed paint where the urethane will come in contact with the urethane and or any scratches caused by strip out. This product comes in a small aluminum bottle and is to be applied to the surface by use of a small cotton dauber. Once the dauber is dipped into the primer, make sure that it will not drip. If the primer drips onto the painted surface, removal must be instant or permanent paint damage will occur. If the primer is used up from the original dauber, do not dip it again. Rather, grab a new dauber and re-dip. Otherwise, contaminants will make its way into the entire bottle and ruin the remaining product. If the primed areas are used for adhesion or are located on the bonding area of the pinch weld, then proper dry times must be followed. Dry setting is a procedure that checks for fit and aids in the final setting of the glass. The dry set can be done when both prepared surfaces are cleaned and contaminant-free, or just before you prepare the surfaces for bonding. Once the glass is centered and in the opening and not skewed, guide marks can be applied to the glass and body for future alignment. The marks can be applied with a wax pencil or piece of tape extending beyond the glass edge into the painted surface of the roof. If taped, the tape is cut at the glass edge. Next, we have to prepare our urethane tip for application. To do this, we must cut the proper configuration into the urethane applicator tip. We use the existing urethane as a measure stick to determine that width. Next, we create a V bead by cutting a notch high enough to mimic the OE bead. The technician wants the urethane bead to be equal to or slightly higher than the wall of the pinch weld. This allows the technician then to deck the glass to the proper height by pushing the glass down until the top molding makes contact with the roof line or until the glass is flush with the roof line if a molding is not present.